You're watching Steele News Live with Mia Haslage and Aneesa Radcliffe.
A Steele News Live special report. 3 girls discuss their battles with a potentially deadly disease.
This is Steele News Live.
Hello, Steele. I'm Aneesa Radcliffe.
And I'm Mia Haslage.
High school students deal with stress every day.
Peer pressure, social acceptance, and academic success, just to name a few.
Self-image is something that all of us deal with.
But for some, the desire to see ourselves the way we want to can be the worst of all. That's why Aneesa and I produced the following story for our midterm along with Sara and Becki Stuckart.
It's a topic that affects nearly 8 million people every day.
We were fortunate to have 3 brave Steele students share their stories.
Here's Becki Stuckart.
Diaries, the place where girls preserve their innermost thoughts. But not all diaries contain stories of first kisses, school crushes, and high school drama. Some diaries contain much deeper secrets. Diaries like the one that belongs to junior Sara Murray.
She is trying to take away the things that make me feel the most alive, starving and cutting. I am such a fat, out of control, useless, worthless, disgusting person. I hate everything about myself. I refuse to remain the fattest, most disgusting creature I've ever seen. It shouldn't hurt me to look in the mirror. I should not want to cry every time I see my full body reflection. I don't know how to describe how I'm feeling. I guess sad, lonely, stressed, definitely suicidal. And I wish I was so different, and I hate my body, I hate my face.
A hatred so deep, it threatens her life.
I sat down on my bedroom floor and I took 60 pills and I cut one of my wrists pretty deep.
A physical and psychological battle she fights every day.
I have anorexia.
It started 3 years ago when Sara would go days or even a week without eating, and her struggles fit the definition of anorexia.
Anorexia nervosa is a eating disorder that's defined more by a restricting type of behavior. So not eating any food or restricting the amount of food you eat in a day. Also defined by excessive exercise.
Sara says her fight began as a reaction to overwhelming stress, and that's when a mental debate became embedded in her mind.
I go through the pros and cons of eating first. Should I eat? Should I not eat? Do I need energy today or do I not? And then it goes to the type of food or how many calories I should let myself have.
So how many calories should Sara have? To maintain a healthy body weight, the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute recommends that moderately active females consume between 1,800 and 2,200 calories per day, and it's not unusual for Sara to consume only a fraction of that.
At first, I didn't restrict or anything, but once I saw how much I was eating, I always wanted to lower it. So every other week or so, I would lower it until I got to about 300 calories.
Or 1/6 of the recommended amount. The body goes into survival mode when it consumes so few calories, which prevents its ability to function normally.
I had 4 softball games yesterday, and I couldn't convince myself to eat. So I had 1 Diet Pop all day. And then I woke up at 3 a.m. because my hips were hurting. So I went downstairs to get some water. And by the time I got downstairs, my heart was racing so fast that I had to lay on my kitchen floor for 3 minutes before I felt safe enough to get up and walk without passing out. I mean, even though you're losing weight, there's so many bad physical things that happen that even if you think you're becoming attractive, you're really not.
Sara is aware of the long-term health risks, so why doesn't she eat more? It's a good question, and the answer lies within her reflection.
When I look in the mirror, I can obviously see that I'm small. I can see when I haven't eaten in days and my bones are starting to show, but I can also see wherever I have fat on my body, and that's where my eyes go straight to. If there's fat on my stomach, that's all I can see. I can see that I'm small, but that's all I really focus on. And sometimes I can just stand in the mirror for an hour and just count all my flaws. And I've cried in front of the mirror before because I just couldn't take how I see myself. it's not fair that all I see is flaws.
Sierra's story is all too common. Of the 377 Steele students we surveyed, nearly 26% say they are not satisfied with their body images. 6% admit to having an eating disorder, which is just shy of the national average of 7.8%. 2 other Steele students with anorexia agreed to talk with us on camera. The first is JJ Bartell.
My name is JJ Bartell. I'm a senior and I cheer on varsity for the high school, and I've recently recovered from anorexia.
Just 11 months ago, senior JJ Bartell began to feel that her life was spinning out of control. So she grabbed a hold of the one thing she could manage, her eating.
This was something I could control. Like, no one could make me do this way. Like, you almost felt powerful, and you had this sense of success if you could go a whole day without eating.
Doctors would later diagnose her condition as anxiety-induced anorexia. And it took a traumatic moment for JJ to realize she needed help.
When I got on the floor, the adrenaline's running, you're ready to compete, you want to do well. And then I do this one skill that is super easy for me, and I fell on it. And that's when I didn't know what was happening, the room was spinning. I finished out the routine, and I stumbled off the floor, and the coaches came to help me. And I didn't really relate it with food, because even after the competition, I didn't eat because I thought I already did that day. My memory was completely, because your body needs weight to keep your memory going, and mine was completely gone. I mixed up dates, I forgot normal things, and eating was one of the things I forgot.
My name is Gabrielle Richards. I'm a swimmer, I'm a chef at Lorain County JVS, and I battle with anorexia.
During her sophomore year, Gabby was admitted to Cleveland Clinic, where doctors told her she had anorexia, which deprived her of an average teenage lifestyle.
I wasn't able to go to school because of this, and I had to complete school at home, so it was really hard for me. It was kind of hard to just take school at home because I kind of had to teach myself.
Despite the losses, Gabby did what Sierra, JJ, and all other anorexics do. Ignored the warning signs, and continued to risk her life.
There was the side that told me that I wasn't doing the right thing, but then there was just this bigger voice that was telling me that I should continue to weigh myself and count my calories, and that I didn't look good, and that I would look better if I did all those things. And I should have realized I wasn't doing the right thing. When you're in it, it's hard for you to realize that what's right and what's actually wrong.
People suffering from an eating disorder such as anorexia cannot fight it alone. They must receive professional guidance and support from home.
The best way to stop an eating disorder is with parents. It turns out that if you're going to try to feed someone and have them stop behaviors, the best person to do it is your parents.
But even around-the-clock attention can't help a person with an eating disorder recover unless that person wants to get better and is willing to open up to somebody who has experience.
What happens a lot of times is people feel very secretive. They think they're the only one that's facing this kind of a problem, and so they become very shut down and very isolated. And part of the importance here is to open up to someone else.
If you are watching this and you're thinking, I don't have an eating disorder, but my friend may, you have a responsibility to speak up.
And I know sometimes it feels like maybe you shouldn't tell, but the truth is you're not tattling, you're not being a bad friend, you're being a great friend. What you're actually doing is saving your friend's life. And if you can do that, you have done your friend the greatest service possible.
JJ, Gabby, and Sierra all share something other than anorexia. They all wish that when they began their struggles, someone would have spoken up and shared advice like this.
If you're sitting here watching this today, that obviously means you're not stuck in a treatment center somewhere, and so you don't want it to get to that point. And for those who have been struggling with years for it, you need to realize there is a better chance for you.
If you feel like you have one, you need to deal with it right now, because you don't want it to get worse. You need to realize that you do need help, and that it's not a bad thing to get help.
Eating disorders take away everything. They take away your health, for one, which is very important. They take away your ability to focus in school. They take away your social life, especially your social life. And they could take away your life. and it's definitely not worth it to be thin.
Gabby and JJ believe their eating disorders will always be present, but the worst is in the past. For Sierra, she knows what she has to do to live a healthy life, but the fight continues between what she knows, what she needs, and what her body and mind will allow her to have.
Even though I can recover, it's still going to be in my mind. I just have to not let the eating disorder win. I have to let the positives of eating outweigh how much I want to starve or lose weight. Like, I have to realize that my health is not worth that.
As you are watching the story and thinking to yourself, I don't have an eating disorder, but my friend may, you have a responsibility.
Speak up. There are many places that you can seek help.
Our very own guidance counselors are here to deal with issues just as this one.
Dr. Mark Warren from the Cleveland Center for Eating Disorders specializes and dedicates his around-the-clock attention to people dealing with a severe disorder.
For further information, you can contact CCED at 216-765-0500. Once again, that number is 216-765-0500.
Also, Jennifer Hodgson and Chris Saladine from Second Psych are also here to help you. You can reach either of them at 440-323-5121.
Once again, that's 440-323-5121.
We would like to give a special thanks to the three girls that made this story possible: JJ Bartel, Sierra Murray, and Gabby Richards.
We would also like to thank the Cleveland Center for Eating Disorders and Psych and Psych for all their help.
That concludes our show for today.
Don't ignore the warning signs and speak up.
Goodbye, Steele.